Heyo! Today I'm playing a game called Instant Dungeon. It was released not too long ago on Steam. It's basically an arcade type game, dungeon crawler experience, randomly generated, and combines features of Gauntlet with, something like Pac-Man maybe. Old school Atari type games. It also technically is kind of a roguelike because you only have one life, but with the arcadey nature of the game, I guess it's appropriate and not, a roguelike to that extent, but I like it a lot. So, fucking let's go. Okay, so this is the game, the main menu. Before I go into the game, I'd like to show under the options that you have the option to select a character. I always have the random option, but it's just like they all have like names and different appearances, but as of right now there's no difference in their abilities or speed or whatever. They're all just, the differences are purely cosmetic so far. Let's just set that back to random because I like to have the randomness. Okay, that was unintentional. That's fine. Let's go back. Okay, new game. So there's multiple modes. I will go into the other modes in due time, but right now let's just look at the main mode, which is action. Explore the dungeon and collect treasure to earn a high score. Relatively self-explanatory. So you go into the game, it looks like this. Layout is, a mixture between Gauntlet and Pac-Man, I would say. And there's no enemies on the first stage. The only point is, okay, collect that coin I just did, collect the key. And I will also collect this knife right here. So now I have a weapon, and the first thing that most people, I think, will try is, how do I attack? There's no obvious attack button. So one thing I did was just run into the guy, but okay, yeah, you see what that leads to. So start over. As you can see, it's randomized. I don't think I mentioned that before, but it's a randomized layout every time. So you pick up the stuff, so you don't run into him to fight him. What you do is press one of the I'm using the Xbox controller, and you press Y, X, A or B, and then it throws the knife, and there you go. That's how you attack. So you can't attack if you haven't picked up a means of attack first. And it's also in this mode and the other modes also is not the goal to kill everything or something. You don't get experience points. The weapons are basically just there to defend yourself, get to the end, and in this mode collect as much treasure as possible. So now I have a shield, and if I press the button it doesn't attack. I start to walk slower, and it defends me from one hit. Or one connect with an enemy, basically, which is fine. It gives you an option, gives you the ability to apply strategy to the gameplay. Do I collect a weapon or do I collect a shield? Most of the time I stick with a weapon on these early levels. And okay, this is the first boss level, and due to the reduced ability of your character to attack, I'm not sure if it's possible to kill bosses if there are people who are like experts at the game, but at any given time on this boss stage you'll only have like one dagger to throw at the boss. So even if I hit him, I'm not sure how many hits he can take, but I have no other means to attack him right now, so all I can do pretty much is just dodge the rest of his attacks and get to the end. And this one's pretty easy. So let's just keep going here. Okay, that missed. That was nice, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's just, you know, if you miss an attack, it's just you lose the ability to defend yourself. That's all it is. So I could go to the exit right now, or I could collect more stuff. I like to get the knife, actually. And yeah. Yeah. So this level, and also what's also noticeable as of right now is that the levels keep getting larger the further you get into it. I mean, I think the highest level I've gotten to is 30 something, or maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't played in a couple of days actually. I can't really remember how far I got, but I assume they will just keep getting bigger and bigger and more complex. And as far as I know, this is also, I don't know how high the game goes. I mean, every 10 levels there's a boss, or every 5. I mean, this time the boss was a level 5, so I guess it's every 5 levels. I'm not sure how far it goes, so we'll see. Also, I'm not sure how far I will really get, because the levels also, they don't, not only, oh fuck, now I'm fucked, you see? And so I'm back at the beginning basically, due to the roguelike nature, and I'm a blonde person. I'm not with a ponytail this time. Yeah. So I have to say I'm not that fully concentrated on the game, I guess. This is the experience of a lot of people who start out doing what I'm doing, talking while they're playing the game. Yeah. So I'll just play this one as far as it goes. I want to show at least one other particular boss, which is not the next one after the dragon, but the third boss I'd like to show off. So let's just get there. So yeah, you collect gold mostly, but you also collect these rubies and emeralds and stuff that give more points. And it's all very arcadey and all about getting the high score basically. This boss is basically the only way you die, and this guy is if you don't pay attention, or you, I don't know, if you don't pay attention at all, you will die maybe, but this is really not hard to bypass, this whole thing. Yeah, so I'm getting back into the groove a little bit. I'd like to kill as many things as possible so I can maximize the treasure I get on a playthrough. And believe it or not, what happened to me the first time, what you just saw, with me getting trapped between two enemies, that was actually the first time this happened to me. You know, I'd blame that entirely on me talking while playing this game. You know, it's an arcade game, and it's not very hard right now. I mean, you do die in one hit, and if you get hit once, it's basically over, unless you have a shield or armor, which I haven't picked up because I haven't gotten that far yet. Oh yeah, you see, I almost died right there. I don't even know what kind of enemy it is. It's maybe a goblin or an orc. I don't remember right now if there's something like a bestiary. Oh yeah, this is armor, so I just picked up the helm, but it doesn't do anything yet. I pressed one of the buttons, and now I don't have to, you know, the shield I have to bring up to defend, but this one I can just, if I walk into an enemy, and it will block the attack basically, and the enemy will reverse directions just as you would with the shield. Yeah, so it's basically, if I have the shield and this armor, did I get two of them? No. If I have both the shield and the armor, I get basically 2 extra hits, which is useful mostly on the bosses. And otherwise, the regular enemies are mostly most dangerous when you can't see. When you look, if I walk up right now and there was an enemy right here, I could have very easily died. So that's the main danger in the regular enemies, is just not being able to see them at all times, because you don't see the entire level at all times. That's the thing. But even right now, I'm a bit protected because I have the armor on. But you can also very easily die even if you have it, if you keep walking in the same direction as the enemy and walk into him twice in a row. So, oh yeah, this is second boss, and it's also not like hard to defeat because he does go through all the rows, but he doesn't go into these little spaces in between. So you can always, you know, it's still a very predictable pattern. You know, it's very much like almost like a tutorial kind of thing at this point. Only at the next boss, in my opinion, does it really get difficult to some degree. So here we already see some new item. This is like a fire spell thing. You know, it kills one enemy, works just like the knife or something. Oh, I'm not sure if it goes through him, like the axe does. You know, this axe here, I haven't really talked about it, but so the knife that kills one guy, the first guy it hits, like that. The axe, you might have noticed this visually by looking at it, but I haven't talked about it, is if you throw it, it goes farther. So you can potentially kill multiple enemies if they're all in the same row. But there's not always the opportunity to do that, so I just, you know, use it just like I would use the knife, basically. So, yeah. Oh my god, I was so close to fucking up, and it's also, at this point, it starts getting hard to see what I'm doing. It's really gotten reasonably, noticeably darker than before. So I'm just gonna do like a Dark Souls thing and have the shield out like this, because I really, at points I can't see what's coming up next. I don't want to risk dying because I really want to show off at least another boss. So this item right here, this is useful. It only starts appearing when it gets darker. It's just the torch you put up, and then from that point on you have an extra point of light. Yeah. And this only appears now because only now has it gotten really darker. I don't know what level I'm on right now. This is 13. So it doesn't appear right away because it's not dark right away. This item is also interesting. Stops time. So every enemy on the stage can't move until the little timer runs out.